Hey everybody, welcome to episode 125. Now we are a quarter way through the second 100. Um, so a couple of things. First of all, of course I want to talk about these two things. The Holland show, with Ace Frehley's Holland show that he did Monday night, and which is an odd night for what is with the concerts lately? It seems like all concerts should be on Friday and Saturday night. It's like, okay, so now I'm going to be hungover if I drink. I'm going to be hungover and horse assy on Tuesday at work, and the concerts they probably go on at 8, you had to drive there, you had to you'll say an hour drive to get to the concert. I mean, you're getting back after 1 in the morning. I guess just take the next day off work, I guess is the big thing to do. Luckily I work from home and I set my own schedule, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. But a lot of people do. I just find Tuesday concerts, Monday concerts just odd. I guess Thursday is close enough to the weekend that sort of makes sense. But it's just the whole. What was this? What's the song? Saving it up for Friday night. Works a day job. He plays the weekends kind of thing. The weekend rocker. It seems like that's when you would go to the bar, or you go out to the club, or you go wherever on a Friday and Saturday night. But I guess every concert can't be on Friday and Saturday night. But again, I just find it weird. I also I watched that concert last night at somebody. I'll show you the link on here. Somebody had it on here. It's just Actually, I don't even think it's a cell phone camera. I think it might be just like a handheld, because it's. I don't see a lot of cell phones in the crowd, so maybe they had a no cell phone policy. But it says it's 4K and it's pretty good quality. I mean, but it's obviously somebody back in the crowd. So, and they zoom in a few times, so that's why I'm thinking that maybe they have a handheld or something. If you're the person who, I'm going to show your video, so I'm not going to show up, but I'm going to look at it. And the person who shot the video, I guess, I don't know if it addresses as the person who shot the video, or they just had the video. YouTube's weird anymore. It's just like, I don't even know. Everybody reposts everybody else's stuff. I mean, I do it too. Obviously, I'm doing it here. It just, who knows where the source of this stuff comes from. It's odd. So anyways, I went to sleep last night, and I've been sleeping really weird the last couple of nights, and actually the weekend was fine, Sunday night, I have a lot to do this week, and get a lot of work done before go on Christmas break, but so maybe I'm just stressing out. Maybe that's what it is. I'm feeling better. I'm still pretty much in a funk, like I've been talking about, but I kind of changed my diet a bit, kind of stay away from. I am lactose intolerant, so I think I can't have dairy anymore. I mean, outside of like butter, But I think I'm going to, stick to this a little bit better. I feel a little better health-wise. Maybe not mentally, but definitely physically. I feel better health-wise. Changed my diet about a week and a half, and kind of weaned myself off some of the bad stuff. I'm not like a big sugar person, and I'm not a big like sweets person, but for me, and this is why I have high blood pressures, I'm a big salt person. I love things salty, and I like a lot of junk that's got just a metric ton of sodium in it, and that's my downfall, is sodium. So I kind of have to stay away from that. I do have to stay away from that. So I kind of changed my diet a little bit, so I've been feeling a little better physically. Mentally, I'm still, and as Sunday night kind of attests to Sunday and last night as well. Last night was all jacked up, and I'll tell you, it kind of leads into what this video is about. But anyways, Sunday night I woke up at like 5 I usually get up around 7:30, and I woke up at 5 a.m. and had a crazy snake dream. I had this crazy dream that I'm sitting on, I think, my grandmother's couch, and her couch was pushed up against like a big window to the porch, and I guess I was watching these snakes or something. Not in real life. I was just watching in the dream. I was watching these snakes, and I had this. All of a sudden, it's just like I got my eyes closed, so everything's dark in the dream, but I can feel I've got like a cobra on my back, and he's like, I don't know if he's up doing his thing with his what do they call that? And the cobra comes up. It's got the cowl, I guess, or whatever it is. But I can feel this big snake on my back, and he's like, it's like, and I guess like somebody else is screwing with it, so it's like getting nervous, and it would start shaking, almost like a rattlesnake. And it was just like, you could feel the pressure, like in the dream, I could feel the pressure on my back, and it's just like, I'm thinking to myself, like, how do I get out of this? I always weird dreams, like, how do I get out of this? Like, how I'm stuck on like a radio tower, like in the movie Fall. It's like, how do I get down? How do I get out of this? How am I going to live through this one? If I can only get through this one, I'll change my whole life, type of thing. And I kind of had that dream. It's like I have this, king cobra on my back, and so how am I going to get out of this one? So it's not really like a spooky, crazy dream. It's just one of those kind of disturbing dreams. And I woke up, and kind of that night terror, like until you're like fully awake, you're like, oh God, what's going on? I still have this snake on me. What's going on? And then by the time I kind of come to, I'm wide awake. So I got up and got to jump on work. Actually, I made myself kind of a nice healthy breakfast. Healthy. I mean, the kind of food I've basically been eating a lot more eggs and kind of staying away. Well, beef's so expensive. I had some beef over the weekend, but trying to stay away from a lot of the processed stuff. Totally taking out dairy, processed stuff. I've been eating a lot more eggs, a lot of avocados. They were on sale at Kroger, so I picked up a bunch of avocados, and I've been kind of avocado crazy. Like, I guess I'm turning into a millennial or a zennial. It's like I like my avocado toast, but I usually throw a eggs over medium on it, like a egg over medium on it. Oh, it's delicious. But anyways, where was I at? So anyways, yeah. So last night I watched the concert, before I go to sleep, and I'm going to go to sleep early because I, got up so early that morning. So I figured I'd go to sleep about 10. I usually go to sleep about 11:30, midnight. So I was going to go to sleep at 10, and I'm watching the concert. As soon as the concert was kind of over, I was out. And then I wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, or 1:35, I think. I asked She Who Shall Go No Unnamed what time it was, and it was like 1:35. a.m. I'm like, I was thinking, it was like, oh, is this like 5 again? No, it's 1:30. And I'm like, I got to go back to sleep. And I couldn't. So I got up. I didn't get up and start working. It's like in the middle of the night, it's hard to do that for me. Like if it's 5 in the morning, I'll get up and start my day. But if it's 1:30 in the morning, I'll probably lay there in bed hoping that I'll fall back asleep. So I grabbed my tablet. I usually don't watch it, but I listen to it. Just like when I'm at work here, I listen to my tablet, or listen to podcasts and stuff. Because I gotta concentrate over here, but I can listen at the same time. So, at night I don't want to have the screen in front of my face, so I like to just, I did for the concert, but I mean, I like to listen, try to fall asleep. Anyway, I listened to the Eddie Trunk, Ace Frehley interviews over the weekend. I had it in my watch later list, but I didn't watch it or listen to it. So I decided, and that one, there's nothing on the screen, so it's pretty much a listen. So I started listening to that, and it's like an hour and some minutes long. I figured I'd just fall asleep and whatever. I'll just listen to it the next day. And nope, I was up for the whole thing. And then some. I don't think I got to sleep till about 3:30 in the morning. So I was up for 2 hours. Could not get back to sleep. And then I set my alarm for 8, and I didn't get up to like 8:30, 8:45. I was just kind of, I don't know. So my sleeping's all messed up. But I got a couple of things knocked out that I kind of wanted to watch. I didn't know about the concert until literally last night. I was, before I went to sleep, I was thumbing through, and I noticed Ace Frehley played in Holland, Michigan. That was kind of weird because I was just at Holland this last summer. I don't know if, I had videos up when I went to Holland for my vacation in July at my birthday. and we stayed, there in Holland, and I'd never been to Holland before. I'd never been to Grand Rapids before, and Holland's like a nice little touristy town, but it's kind of, I guess there's at the Holland Civic Center. I'm assuming that's downtown somewhere. I know there's a few other, we kind of drove around and walked around downtown, so I don't know where the Civic Center is in like relation to the main strip. Sorry, again, sleep. I think it's off the main street to the, well, if you're going, I don't know what direction it is. You're going, I guess, towards the lake. If you're going towards the lake out of town, but before you get out of town, I think it's to the left. I think back there, like a block back, and there's a street that kind of wraps around. And I know there's the Holland windmill thing that's on the island, the Windmill Island thing, which is total disappointment, by the way. Don't go. I mean, it's the videos and stuff on TV and the pictures make it look a lot nicer than it really is. But yeah, kind of a weird place for Frehley to play. I mean, in December, I guess there's nothing to do in Holland because it's a beach. It's pretty much it's a resort town. So I guess to get people to come into the city or come in for the attractions or come in for the whatever, for commerce, I guess have a concert. So I have a civic center. I don't know how big it is. I'm assuming they might do wrestling and stuff there. I don't know. But yeah, so I started listening to the video or watching the video. I'm sorry. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. They did play the 10,000 volts. They played, obviously, they're going to play all his hits. They played Shock Me. I think they played Into the Void. Might have blacked out during the concert, maybe some of the time. And I noticed that the bass, I'll flip it over here. I noticed that the bass player, I guess I'll just blow this up so you can see it better. I guess the bass player, that guy that looks like he's like an actor playing a bass player. I guess he's normally a guitar player, so he plays. He played his guitar, and then this guy. I thought this was the drummer at first. I'm not sure who this guy is. Obviously, I don't know really the band all that well. I mean, a lot of people who know these guys. People pointed out in comments. People come from different places. I just recognize this guy from the video, and I've seen him before on some of these concert footages. And then this guy over here in the corner, I've seen him before, and he's in the video. Of course, there's Ace, and then that guy looked like the drummer almost, but I don't think it's the drummer. And then the drummer, you can't really see him back there, but he's kind of I guess, bald guy. It's not the drummer from the video. As he mentions, as Ace mentions in the interview with Trunk, that when the album recorded, he said he didn't even know who played on a lot of the tracks because the tracks were done remotely. And they were worked on by multiple people, and like he would do, I guess he did his solos and the vocals to a click track. I think he says he did it in out of the studio where you normally record in the studio. He did it in like where they mic the amplifiers, the Marshalls, because he wanted to be near the Marshalls. So he was playing out there is where he would record, and he said he just needed a click track, and he would go through and do the solo. Sorry, the lead. Even he calls it the solo. What is it? Is it a solo or is it a lead? Like I said, I keep telling... I looked it up. A solo is a musical performance by one person without any accompaniment. So if the band's playing, that's accompaniment. So that's not a solo. It's a lead. Because you're a lead guitarist, you take the lead. You could take the bass lead. You could take a vocal lead. You could whatever. You're taking the lead. So, but I mean, even Frehley's calls them solos. So, anyways, and then he said that the tracks were sent out to somebody else in a different state, sometimes in a different country. And then the bass, he says he didn't even know who played bass on some of it. And then I guess he finally remembered a guy, but he wasn't sure if that was the guy. And and it's just kind of funny how music's kind of done nowadays. How you can send the files digitally, so it's not like you have to mail a tape, in the mail. You could just say, hey, here's my whatever the files are, the Pro Tools files or whatever they're using. It's like, hey, here's the working copy of the song. It's in that I'm just going to email it to somebody, or zip it up and send it out to somebody else. That person opens it up in their system in another studio, and then other musicians can get to work and record more tracks onto it. And I'm assuming, if you're using Pro Tools, which I don't use, but you've got unlimited tracks, so you can do as many guitar tracks as you want, or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Oh, sorry. But yeah, this concert was kind of neat. I like to see obviously they've got all the standards. I mean, he's playing a Les Paul. I think the guitar player, he's playing a Thunderbird. The other guy's got another Les Paul. He looks like he's got I think it's a P bass. I don't think it's a P bass, not a jazz bass. So it's all the standard instruments, playing them through Marshalls. You got Marshall stacks here. You've got Ampeg stack. Those are 610s, aren't those 610s? Those are 412s, and those are 610s. And that Ampeg stack. I've got the Fender Rumble for my home practice amp, but if I ever had a big amp and I wanted to play, I would definitely go with the Ampeg stack. I never owned it, but I had used it exclusively almost my entire time through the 90s. A buddy of mine who also played bass, it was his. He had sold me like it was a 100-watt bass, Ampeg bass combo that I'm so big, I used to use it as a stool. I'd sit on it, and the bass frequencies would put me to sleep. Anyways, I would sit on the amplifier, big monster amplifier, and then I eventually ended up selling that up. I should have always kept. That was a great amplifier. I should have kept it. Never did. And then that was like my first big amp. And then he had the 300-watt Ampeg stack, which that one wasn't 612s. That was bigger than a 12-inch. Was it like a 15-inch or 18-inch? Just one monster speaker in a cabinet, square cabinet, not the rectangle one. And I used that, like I said, for the longest time, almost exclusively throughout the 90s, until I ended up giving it back to him, I think in like 2001, 2002. I finally ended up giving it back to him. What else? But yeah, I'd do that if I was to, like I said, I don't think I'm ever going to play live again. Who knows? You never can say never, but I mean, I don't know, and I don't, my son, I'm kind of propping up my son, trying to get him up to speed, so all of my stuff that I do for me is just a glorified hobby, and then whatever I can help him with is, he's young, so let's work on his music career if he wants one. And and I'm just the dad, just the over-supportive dad that just a bedroom rocker for now. So anyway, so we'll keep it at that. And then yeah. So anyways, I was watching this video. Like I said, I guess I tore up the music video a lot. A lot of people disagreed with me on things that I said, and I don't know. I'll probably end up buying the album when it comes out. Well, if it's not like $50, something stupid. If it's $25, I'll buy the album. That'd be kind of nice to have. I heard there's going to be the Walking on, Ace was talking in the Eddie Trunk video about the Walking on the Moon song that he has on the album. And I think he said there's a third, that's the second single. I think there's going to be a third single off of it, possibly. And then the album comes out, I think he said February 23rd. So, yeah, I mean, I'll probably get it. Like I said, again, it's just, and watching this video, I mean, he looks like he's lost some weight. His face is still just, his head is so huge now. And it's just like his face is like melting. But I mean, he had a I have no room to talk, but I mean, he had a pretty good gut going there, while these like little stork legs, and looks like he looks pretty good at the concert. I mean, from afar, if you get up real close on him, you realize, he's 75 years old. But I mean, from a distance, he looks pretty decent. You look at like other guys that are rocking in their 70s, like Punky Meadows. I mean, Punky Meadows is a freak. But I mean, he's still tall and in great shape. I mean, he looks like my Aunt Patsy, but I mean, he's in great shape. So looks like Ace is doing pretty good. I think he even mentions in the Trunk video that he'd been going out and trying to lose some weight and kind of get in better shape. Like I said, I mean, I don't know how he stood the whole time at this concert. I mean, I couldn't do it. I think he played for what? He plays for an hour and a half. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I'd either have to be sitting down a lot in between songs, or maybe sitting down for a few songs. I have to do the old Robert Fripp thing. You bring the stool out and you play from sitting down the whole time. Like I said, the other problem is I got, like, if you notice where his guitar, everybody's guitar is kind of at the hip level. It's the cool place to have a guitar. I'm not the crazy guy from Metallica way down there, but I mean, having it low. But when you have a gut, and here's the other thing: when you have a gut, let me grab the Leo James here. And when you have a gut, if you don't have a guitar with a tummy cut or belly cut, gut cut. There we go. I just call it a gut cut. If you don't have a guitar with that, it's a solid piece of lumber. That thing just goes right into your stomach, right? And I can't play with it down there. I mean, I guess I could, but it's like I have trouble looking, because I try not to look all the time, but I'm just saying, I have trouble. I mean, like I said, I'm not really a guitar player, bass player. Bass player, I got more of a feel, and I play the bass more in like a classical position anyways. But if I got the guitar down there, sorry, maybe I guess I should put the strap on. See, you guys saw this, didn't you? My rock and roll over strap, which is kind of funny, because in the Trunk interview, I didn't know this. You guys, everybody else might have known it, but he mentions what's his face? Asked Ace what his favorite album was, and Ace says, the first album and Kiss Alive 1. I can see that, but my favorite album, as you guys all know, is Rock and Roll Over, and Eddie Trunk said his favorites. I'm not that it's like, but it's just kind of interesting. It's like, hey, it's a great album. It's my favorite. So I got the strap for it, and then I've been working on all my Rock and Roll Over songs. Should be tuned down. I don't know if you guys, I don't have it plugged in. I got the fan going, and then the heat just kicked on, so all the noise, I don't know if you could hear that, but I'm working on that one. I got that one pretty much down. I don't, like I said, it's just the rhythm. I'm just doing the Paul Stanley section, or kind of the Ace and the Paul section. Remember, I don't really do much leads, although lead in that was not overly complicated. Eventually, once I got the song down perfect, then I'm going to go back and I'll teach myself the lead. And then right now, last night I just started what do you call it? Making love. I love those they call it partial chords. You got like not a full bar chord, but you got your fifth chord, and then if you add that octave, not just the root and the fifth, but you add that octave too, you get a fuller fifth chord. But if you just play the octave and the fifth, it's called a partial chord, I believe. They're really nice. You can bend them so easily. I love that. Those are my favorite chords to play. I mean, I like to play the full fifth, full power chord to really get some of the power, such as the root, get that bassiness of the root note. Especially if you got, like, you're playing the E, or I don't know, what's this tuned down to? It's tuned down a step, so this is the E flat, right? D sharp, yep, E flat, D sharp. So, if you play that, but then you have the D sharp or E open note. You're not just getting the full power chord at that, that E fifth, but you're also getting that extra thing. So it's, and if you pedal on that, you get that. I love that. Love that. Absolutely love that. Of course, in God of Thunder, you get that. You got it in there. I just love that. I love that partial chord bending. It's my favorite thing to play. I mean, I used to be, when I was younger, obviously not being really much of a guitar player, I was like, oh, I really love playing the bass. I love playing power chords just because they're power. There's so much power in them, and they're pretty simple, and you can usually move around the neck, and you can play all of every chord, even if you have to play sharps and flats. You can play them because they're pretty easy to hit, And then you can pretty much play everything up here, but then you'd switch around some chords and everything. But I think it was when I discovered the real way to play Smoke on the Water, I was like, oh, those are cool. And then I was doing this thing of my own, which was called, I can't remember what I called it on a recording I did. I was like, oh, I love those. What are those called? And then I noticed playing like Metal Health. And if you go, it's like, oh, I don't need to play the full power chord. I can just play this partial. I think we had a song called Mandy back in the 90s. Those are all those. There's power chord and a partial chord mixed in. So, it's funny. I wasn't really a big Kiss player, and and I was like, oh, I want to learn all these Kiss songs. I just want to learn stuff from that album. I want to learn the whole album. And anyways, I was like, oh, do they do a lot of those? And I was like, oh, that's what that sound is. And it probably resonated, obviously from listening to Kiss as a kid, in my head, a young brain, it resonated in my head, and I remember hearing them. So when I was playing them, dinking around on the guitar and trying to teach myself the first time, all that stuff kind of like, oh, that's why I kind of think I'm gravitating towards those. I mean, they're easy too, for the most part. I mean, they can get complicated, but it's an easy chord to hit, and but it rocks. It just rips, and it's just, I think it rips. It's got more of like a 70s sound than a power chord. Because obviously power chords can be pretty heavy, tuned down to like a low D or, crazy, like a death metal song. And you hit a lot of those power chords, it really has that more modern sound. But if you want that 70s, Les Paul through a Marshall, straight up, no effects, or maybe just hitting a tube screamer, or a Big Muff or something, and really, making it rip. Rip, and destroy. If you make it rip or rip it out. Sorry, I got that screen up here. Might as well, so you guys can see. What was I saying? Yeah, I just love that sound. It's got that 70s sound. I love the 70s sound. The 70s rock sound, guitar sound. 80s sounds okay. I don't mind the 80s sound. I just don't like all the, my son loves it, but I mean, I'm not a big fan. I love Eddie Van Halen, but he's not like a person I ever wanted to emulate. I never really wanted to emulate like all the shredders and stuff. Ace, man. I mean, Ace Frehley was probably my biggest influence next to, my early influence, and then of course Rick Nielsen. Rick Nielsen's, he's a straight up rock player. He doesn't, he's, I don't know any songs at the moment. I should learn some Cheap Trick stuff, some Rick Nielsen. But, he's a better guitarist than Ace, so he's, he writes things a little more complicated, but I mean, he's got a nice, great sound to him. I love the Explorer that he uses, and, and then, of course, like the prog rock guys like Steve Howe and those guys. I mean, I like those guys too, but I really love that 70s you know, guitar, a 70s Gibson guitar through a Marshall stack. I mean, I just love that sound. And I love the Fender sound. I love Fender amps, and I like, you know, it's funny, I noticed that the guy from Dave Murray, I've looked at Dave Murray's, I was going to get a Stratocaster like Dave Murray. I mean, I love the all black with the white pickguard and the maple neck. And then, but I never really I kind of shied away from Stratocasters, even though I've owned one in the past. But, I was like, oh, he's got 2 humbuckers in there. He's not doing the split coils. He's doing, actually, I think he has a split coil in the middle, but he's got 2 humbuckers, like, obviously like this. It's like, oh, that'd be nice. And I looked down, they're hard to find to get them like that. I mean, you obviously can customize them, but doing 2 humbuckers in a Stratocaster's just got a cool sound to it. But, oh, the other song I was working on, of course, trying to get this one down is, and I played a little different than what the tablature says. I play it a little bit more like, with a little more of the rocky stuff, because it's a lot easier. Instead of closing it here, I usually just do that where I hit the, you know, where you're doing that rock and roll, almost kind of like Chuck Berry kind of fingering. For my money, you can't be too soon. You know, Ladies' Room. You know, the song got me in trouble in kindergarten. So I've been working on Ladies' Room. You're such a jewel in the rough. Come on and show me your stuff. Come on, baby, now. I love that. Let's go. Come on, baby, now. For my money, you can't be too soon. Meet ya in the ladies' room. Oh, and then that one part I go, so if I go, then I hit that partial there and bend it. That's not how the song's played, but it's the same note. It's just he's got to play in a different chord. I like to play that partial right there, which is a, what is that? That's a, that's an E. Yeah, it's an E. And then bend it before you go into the, like that type of dealio. So working on that, kind of trying to pull, it's in standard tuning, and I wouldn't play it on this. I would play it on an acoustic, trying to get down Hard Luck Woman too. I mean, I know the chords to it. I think it's what, C, or I play it the C. I can't remember how you, no, it's C sharp. Be a hard luck woman, baby, till you find your man. And my guitar's tuned down in steps, so I guess I'd play it up then, wouldn't I? Yeah, play it up here. You'll be so hard luck woman. Or is it? I can't remember. I have to look at it again. I just started kind of dinking around with Hard Luck Woman. Still gotta do. Haven't started at all. Not Dr. Feelgood. What's the name of the song? Dr. Love. I haven't started on Dr. Love, and Take Me, which I don't have the tablature on Songster. I have to find some tablature, or at least figure out the chords, and I'll probably just figure it out myself. And just, I never play these, I mean, what do you call it? Mr. Speed, I'm pretty much playing spot on, except for instead of where it goes, C, B, E, like that. I do the partials. C, B, E. I don't do the, like, where's it? It's the C, B, E part. I just, because I'm coming off that other note. I'm coming off that last, sorry. I'm coming off that last one, and then I just go into the, so that sounds weird. I do it with the partials. I mean, I guess I can play the, to get a little more bassy, but I like the partials on that one, so I play that different. I think everything else I played pretty much spot on. Like I said, Ladies' Room I play a little bit differently, and I just started, you know, I just started that, so I'm sure I'll probably end up, remember, if you watch my video on how to play the guitar wrong, what I do is like I said, I go through and I find the easiest way to play the song that I can do it. So if it's got something in that I can't pull off, I'll try to find a way to cheat. And if I have to, I'll change the whole structure of the song just enough. It's almost like you're constantly going, taking right turns, so you never have to make a left-hand turn. I know somebody used to do that. Anyways, you're always making right-hand turns, so you never have to make a left-hand turn. Same thing is, I go completely out of my way and change the entire song, make it more complicated to myself, just because there's one spot in the song that I can't figure out, and I just cheat. So same thing with this stuff, is that's how I play. I just find ways to cheat, because the only person who's really going to hear it is me, and maybe you guys if I'm playing it here. Sorry, I don't have, I guess I got my son's Fender out there, but I get that orange Crush. I'm going to do a Crush video anyway, so we'll crank that up in a little bit. Probably like 2, here in the apartment, and see how that sounds, So I'm doing that. So anyways, back to where are we at here? Back to Ace, somebody who actually knows how to play the guitar. Yeah, so I just flipped a little bit through this concert here. I think he ends up finally taking his jacket off at some point. Yeah, he's got this like vampy shirt or something. It's got I like that strap. I was gonna get the strap like he's got, but I just got that strap. Anyways, I said it's pretty good. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. It's obviously it's not the best quality of the recording. It's great video recording. The sound's a little it's playing at the Civic Center. He doesn't screw up. At least I don't think so. I don't think he ever. I think I saw that one where he's totally playing like the wrong part of the song or whatever, and the other band guys are like, what are you doing? He never really makes a mistake in this. There's a couple of times where he doesn't flub the vocals, but I don't think he's standing close enough to the microphone. He starts singing. There's a couple of weird things like that. I mean, the guy's 75 years old. I mean, I know he's been playing for 50 years, and he's a professional, and, he's Ace Frehley, so I guess he can cut him some slack if, flubs up a few times. I mean, I'd love to, be in his shoes at 75 years old, upstanding for an hour and a half, playing guitar, not sitting, where I can't walk, can't, I'm immobile and, pissing all over myself, I don't want to be in that situation at 75, so, I'd like to be in in Ace's shape, so, like I said, I just don't like this guy. Sorry, he just bothers me. I don't know why. He just really bothers me. That dumb hat he's got on. This guy's just, I mean, musicians are musicians. That guy looks familiar, though. He looks very familiar, the bass player. I don't know who that guy is. If you guys know who that guy is, chime in the video and tell me. I'm sure I could look it up, but I mean, I just don't. He looks familiar. He almost looks like a YouTuber that I've seen before, but he just looks familiar. That's the other guy. He's probably my age. He might even be younger than me. I don't know how old those guys are either. But he does all the tricks. He does. Oh, there's this custom up there. He does the smoking guitar. He does the blinky guitar. He does all his Ace tricks in this show, which is pretty cool. I mean, I guess that's standard. I'm gonna do all the Ace tricks. There's a smoky guitar. Yeah, it was a nice reprieve after that video. Like I said, I think I was a little too harsh on the video. I'm not backpedaling. I mean, the issues I have with that video, I still have those issues. I'm not trying to say like, oh, not going to backpedal on it. I think I was just I think I hammered on it just a little too much. Look at these. Guitar plus VIP 3,500. Strap plus VIP. You just get the strap. Oh, is it the strap he used on stage? Oh, that's kind of cool. Not for 500. I don't have that. This is rich people money is what this stuff is. Oh, you play his guitar. Oh, I guess that's one of the Gibsons maybe there. He must have got it. Because, I mean, Les Paul is a January Les Paul about $3,000. So soundboard guys, look at all the laptops up. I'm sure they're running all the click tracks and stuff. Oh, he did change his shirt. That's right. I must have started to get really drowsy right about. I remember hearing him say goodnight or whatever, and then yeah. But I think I ended up passing out, only to wake up a few hours later. Not with a snake dream, but just I woke up a few hours later. Anyways, oh, what was the other thing I wanted to show you guys? Yeah, the trunk video, the trunk interview. What was it, from the 30th? Which was what? Oh, that's a while ago. It was last weekend. Prior. Okay, I thought it was this previous weekend. I guess not. But yeah, I listened to the whole trunk video, trunk interview, and it was pretty enlightening. I think there's some stuff that I didn't know, and I thought that was pretty cool. He had this crazy thing with. I know what I know what Ace was talking about. How he'd talk, and you'd hear yourself talk back to yourself. Whenever I call my mom, it happens. I think because she's put me on speakerphone, and I get this echo of my voice. It is annoying. I think he was being a little bit too much of a diva about it, but he didn't. He's a professional. He'll always above it. He soldiered on. But I gotta say that is pretty annoying. I guess if you're trying to put your best foot forward, if you're on a national radio or Sirius XM or whatever, and then eventually makes it to YouTube, I guess you'd probably want to get annoyed with the phone conversation. Obviously, you guys have seen me get annoyed with a lot on here, but I'm not Ace Frehley, so it was a pretty good interview. I'm sure Eddie asked him a bunch of questions he already knows the answers to just for the interview. But I was just interested to hear him talk about the recording the album and how much how he didn't know. He's like, I don't even know half the musicians who played on the record. I like how he still calls it a record. The records, making records. Anyways, yeah. So that's what I did last night. I kind of Frehley'd it up, kind of keeping with the Frehley stuff. I know everybody likes that Frehley video, or at least watches the video. I don't know if they like the video, but a lot of people watch that. So hopefully this one maybe. That'll give me some more bump in some numbers, and people come and listen to this one too. Again, both of the things I just mentioned, they're very easily, just look up, if you look up Ace Frehley, Holland, Michigan, you'll find the Holland, Michigan show, the full show's on there. People have broken it down into songs, but you can watch the full show on there, and then this video, this is not even Eddie Trunk's channel, this is somebody else's channel, but they got the full interview there. Because it was on Sirius, I don't even know if even Eddie Trunk even sent, officially put it on YouTube. But you can catch that video, that interview on here too as well. So yeah, like I said, I don't play the stuff in my videos because I don't want to, get copyright strikes, and this is somebody else did the work to put this up there. So go check out their video. I'll give them the view too. Obviously, the person's got 183 subscribers. Now I've got 201. Woo, I'm moving up in the world. So, I've got more subscribers than this person now. So help this person out. And again, I assume everybody else who has more subscriptions than me, you guys that send people my way, help me out. We're all about helping each other. I mean, it doesn't, outside of the competition, which really, all this stuff's free. It's not like, it's like, okay, if you go watch somebody else's video, then, it's like, I'm not worried that you're competing with me, because I guess you're competing for people's time or an attention. That's about it. You're not competing for anybody's dollar, because it doesn't cost them anything. So, like I said, it's kind of like a free reign. I totally, think you guys should, support anybody who you like on YouTube, and if you hate the person, don't support them. Don't watch their videos. If you like the person or you enjoy their content, subscribe to them. Do all this. It doesn't cost you anything. Just your time and the effort of doing it. So same thing with me. That's all I ask is everybody just subscribe if you like it. If you don't, I'm not saying I mean, you can subscribe it even if you don't like it, but I mean, I guess what's the point at that point? Just subscribe if you like it. It helps me because if everybody just subscribed anyways, it would help me out obviously, and I could reach my goals a lot faster. However, it's hard to gauge how I should do my show because if everybody's just subscribing and it'd be great, it'd be a sensation overnight and make all the buku bucks. That'd be great, but you kind of lost it. Well, what do I do? Is everybody just going to watch everything that I do? Just, I could just do anything. And you seem like you might kind of get lazy and you might kind of, not think of, not try to put some thought into what you're doing. But I think if the people who are sincerely liking your stuff and you're noticing you're not blowing up overnight, it's taking you long, tedious, it's very long and tedious, but then, it's like, okay, I need to self-correct. I need to, tweak, dial it in, what you're doing. It makes you think about what you're doing. Like I said, with this one, it's like, obviously, a bunch of people watch my KISS stuff. Nobody really watches my Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And nobody really watches, other bands like The Police or Blue Oyster Cult. So then I know it's like I kind of got a feel on what people are going after. So anyways, I'll end this video here. I keep it under an hour. That's what I did this time. So again, like I said, subscribe if you like it. Like it if you like it. Likes, I guess, are fine, but I think the big thing is subscribe. As you can see, I think I'm going to give this person a... I haven't subscribed to this person yet myself either, but I guess I will. And so now they got 184, and I gave them a like. So same thing with this person back here, posted the concert. They might even be the person who recorded, I don't know. So I'm going to give them a subscribe, give them a like. It's that easy. Just click it. Doesn't, it's going to put their stuff in my recommendations and put my stuff in my feed. Who cares, It's stuff that I like, so hopefully it'll generate other things I like. But anyways, I'll let you guys go, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.